Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network, a coalition of creator-owned podcasts focused on video gaming, entertainment, pop culture, and more. Go to greenlitpodcast.com to find out about all the great shows on the network. Also, we have a Patreon page, Eric. I heard of it, right?
Internet?
Yeah, internet.
Is it like OnlyFans?
Yeah, sort of, except for the content goes into your ears and not your
mind.
I was going to say something much worse. Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Yeah.
Never mind.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. In this series, we are covering Chrono Cross. Tonight, we walk down a narrow and lonely road, sail through the lonely sea, and make no friends on our journey. I am playing Chrono Cross, and I am alone. My name is Chris. I'm joined tonight by Eric. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, good to see you again. We are also joined tonight by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the conversation at patreon.com/retroim.
We are also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion, and stolen Dural fan art.
Yes.
Initializing fake net.
My heart is a treasure which cannot be stolen, and neither of you dummies even want it.
Hello, FakeNet. Good to see you again.
You're looking at Eric and telling me you see me. Think about what that means.
Hear you again.
I wish I could hear a different podcast.
Be in your presence again.
I wish I wasn't trapped inside of electricity.
So, Eric, we've gone down the road.
The humor hole.
The humor hole. The road. All you had to do to revive Kid from her Hydra poison was murder an entire race of dwarves.
Yeah, just straight up genocide.
Yeah, not great.
And the Hydra.
Hi-ho.
Like, there weren't Hydra there was a Hydra there.
So much for environmentalism tonight. So, now we're back. So, after you do that, of course, we head back to the place where angels lost their way. God damn it. And we're back in another world. Before we get going on my side of the quest, we're going to go do some optional stuff, I think, that we can both do. We don't need to spend too much time on this, but I went to the Shadow Forest because I had not been there for the Nikki route.
How did you find it, Chris?
How to find what? The Shadow Forest?
Not like physically, where did you locate it? How did you find it? On your, like...
Oh, I found
it's a word for saying how to go, man.
Oh, how are you getting on?
Yes.
Okay.
How are you getting along, son?
Yes. I found the Shadow Forest to be brilliant and lovely. I found the piece of Skelly, and I left.
Okay.
That's all.
That's good. You didn't chill with that music? Shadow Forest?
Yeah, the music Shadow Forest was lovely and beautiful, but I didn't spend much time
You didn't talk to the little goober guys that were rolling around?
I did. I didn't go...
Did you kill some tribesmen?
A few, but not much. I was just there. My sole purpose was to go get a piece of my guy Skelly.
Can you imagine just being in your nice native tribe habitat in, like, Mojo, Greco, and then Surge roll up and just start killing your friends?
Yeah, I'm just here to pick up a bone, man. Leave me alone. Get out of my way. I will destroy your entire tribe. Yeah, it was not great, but nonetheless, we did that. So, where do you want to go next? Viper Manor, maybe?
Let's go Viper Manor.
Let's go to Viper Manor. It's it's weird because you wouldn't think that you could go back to Viper Manor because you would figure that the security would be off the chain at this point in time, as the kids would say.
Yes,
but it's not because everyone's fucking gone. As we learned from the conversation that I've had with Glenn, everybody got loose and they're on their way to Fort Dragonia. So if you go back to Viper Manor now, they just let the fucking Roborg guarding the door.
It says, "Can I help you?"
Yes.
Your option is to bust it up.
Can I help you? Yes. Die.
Yes, it's hilarious. This thing is here since presumably I didn't know that all the people had gone to Fort Dragonia. So my supposition is we've killed all the human guards.
Yes. Good point. So then you can kill that thing, get some iron, I think, or copper or something, and
there's no music there because there's nobody here.
Yeah, it's just bird chirps. It's a lovely scene. I think you can still go do the dragon game if you want. I'm already a master dragon feeder, so I did not need to worry about that.
I think I got new dialogue from that guy.
Oh, really?
I went there and I told him that I didn't want to feed the dragons, and he replied with, "Then get the hell out."
I think he did say that before.
Yeah, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, it's good.
So where'd you go first?
We didn't talk about this originally, but there's a lower floor in Viper Manor, all the way in the basement. There's like a dungeon down there.
Yeah, it's like a jail type
and
thing.
There was a guy down there originally that was talking about how he was going to hide the parlor key right here. And you can't get it because he's standing there, but now he's gone.
Yeah.
So you can get that parlor key now. The parlor is in fact the place that Harley was sleeping in originally, and you can go unlock the parlor room and then find a daemon charm, which protects from anti-black.
Excuse me, sir. Would you just identify yourself as?
No. Stop it. Also, we can head up to Riddell's room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Top of the stairs, room to the left, next to Viper's office. That is Riddell's room.
It was locked originally, but now Riddell is in there. She is staring into a mirror. Her reflection is actually seen in a large, elaborate vanity. She has one of those like princess beds, got the lace curtains that you can pull.
Yeah.
She's got one of those, and she also has a pet Wobbuffet in a bird cage in here. It's odd.
The maid tells us that despite Viper's pleading, Riddell refused to leave the mansion.
Yeah.
There are too many fond memories of Dario in
Indeed.
this manor.
Did you have Kate with you when you came here?
No, I did this before I revived Kid.
Okay, cool. So when you speak with Riddell, she recognizes us and notes that Kid risked her life to shield her, which is an odd thing to say because also Kid held the knife
Took
to
her
her neck.
hostage, and ruined the whole thing.
But she did. I'm pretty sure that Lynx was aiming for Kid. Like he wasn't aiming for Riddell when he threw that poison dagger. He was trying to off Kid. If that wasn't the case, then he would not have sent a subordinate to check on Kid and make sure she was fucking dead in the clinic later. So I'm not sure that is actually that Riddell is necessarily reading the situation correctly. Nonetheless, Riddell says that says her father and his men have departed for Fort Dragonia, which
This is where I learned that.
Yeah,
the first time.
Yes, and there's not a single thing that she can do but pray for them.
She doesn't know where he is exactly. She also says, "Oh my goodness," twice.
Oh, really?
Like it's like a really old lady thing to say, even though
Yeah.
I think she's supposed to be quite young.
Yeah. The next, I went to the rooftop garden.
Can I go to some pointless places first?
Yes, let's do that.
Did you go to Viper's office?
Yes, but I didn't find anything
It's
there.
empty. We can't go behind the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Did you go to see the chef in the kitchen?
Orcha.
Orcha.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
He's just there chopping shit up.
He
Nobody else is there.
He didn't go. They just brought canned foods with them.
And he's wondering where his assistant went. His assistant, the spy.
Yeah, his assistant, the spy, is actually in a jail cell.
Yes.
In how do we say Lucia?
Lucia's office.
Lucia's office. But I didn't see that at first. I didn't see that till later.
There is also one dragoon still in the mess hall. He says he'll wait here until Hell Freeze is over.
Is he just being an insubordinate, just not doing what he is supposed to do?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Zoa and Karsh are gone, but Zoa's cat is still there.
Yes.
So next is the balcony before we go to Lucia's.
You still can't open that fucking thing in Zoa's thing. It's like, nope, can't do it.
You got to be Zoa.
Even though he's not there. Next, I went to the rooftop garden.
It's daytime now.
Yeah, it looks different. It's not lit in that glowing firefly green hue as it was before. It is now lit in daytime. It's kind of nice looking. That ladder is down too.
Yeah, the ladder's down. There's a sound of crashing waves. And in the background is a flock of white birds that fly through the background as soon as we enter the balcony.
Yeah, kind of like Cape Howl.
Yes, this place is it's probably the exact same animation. I wonder if you lined those up if they'd match. This place is beautiful and golden in the daytime.
Yes, it's very nice. I wonder if this will be an important place later because it's a lot of details here. But that's actually true for a lot of places that don't seem like they're necessarily going to be an important...
Matters later.
Yeah.
Did you climb that balcony?
Yeah, you can get a sight scope on up there, which I think increases your hit percentage.
Yeah, why wasn't this here earlier?
I don't know. It's weird. Somebody let it down.
So who's out here?
Lucia. Lucia is up here. She says that she just doesn't say like, hey, hello.
She starts
again.
like 3 sentences in.
Yeah, she's like, okay. This homoset flower is called NeoFio. As it matures, it will become as a human.
No, Chris, it will become as a human.
It will become as a human. It will become as gods.
Hi-ho.
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 This one has the ability to use elements, she tells us.
This NeoFio is like none other.
Yes, thank you. To live, it needs a life sparkle. She said she sent some dragoons to retrieve it at a marsh east of Arnie, which is obviously the Hydra marshes. She suggests that we do not go there. She does not want to be responsible for more loss of life.
And when she tells you that she improved its elements, she actually laughs afterward.
Yeah.
And she's like, we can train it once it blossoms, which means this is a character for later.
She's a mad goddamn scientist. She does not care about creating or destroying life.
Hold on. How many soldiers have died for her strange whims demanded by her genetic experiments?
Well, consider that you must travel in battle parties of 3, at least 3, but maybe 6.
At a time?
Yeah. Probably more. So when you go back to the lab, her lab, she's confronting the man in the cage who we know as the dishwasher/spy. He says that he got lost and wandered here by mistake, and he's making excuses and whatnot. She does not seem to give a shit, and we can just let him go, and he walks off.
He says he wasn't snooping around or anything.
Yeah, of course we believe him. Lucia then wanders into the corner, and if you speak with her, she notes that Pip is gone. She says that without Pip, there is not much else she can do here. And
Greco recruited her for me.
oh, yeah? What do you say?
He just asked if she wanted to join us.
Oh, I don't think I got any dialogue at all.
I just wanted to be like, Greco, I'm the one who recruits.
Question, should we put Greco in our
be-
top 3?
He's pretty good, man.
Pretty good for now,
He's
right?
better than Zoa now, right? Or better than Radius. Right? What's our top 3? Our top 3 is currently Zoa, Radius, Mojo.
No,
That's not right.
no,
Chris, you fucked this up.
I didn't update it.
You fucked it up.
Our current top 3 is Zoa, Harley, and Radius.
Greco is taking precedent over Radius now.
Yeah, because
I think.
yeah, okay, I'm good with that.
Officially
Okay.
updated.
Yes, updated power ranking is now Zoa, Harley, and Greco. Lucia assimilated into your party.
I will join you. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Victory music.
Yes, indeed. So let's get the lowdown on Lucia. Lucia is a scientific genius. Thank you. Age 28. Her origin is the Xenon mainland in another world.
Hi ho.
Her height is 5'9". Her weight, 97 pounds. Build, thin, and she is right-handed. Her Japanese name is Luciana. On this website, it says they changed it to Lucia for space constraints, and it introduced some confusion when people compared her to Luca. Her innate element is, of course, black, and her weapon is shot. I didn't actually use her, did you?
No.
Her accent is listed as Russian, which I guess that works.
Yeah.
Sure. And there we go. Next, we can go to the library.
Yes, the bridge to get there is lit so harshly that it's basically an impressionist painting.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty harsh. You're right. You get there, and not much has changed here. It's just the Prophet chilling. Like
The Keeper of Time, please.
Marcy is not here either. So Prophet, of course, tells us that the General Viper and I think he says the 4.
Yeah, that's my
Davis?
question. He said the 4 Davis went. Are there 4 now? Did we get a 4th?
No, I think there's only 3 there, buddy.
So
I
is
think
this an error? Does this guy not know? Is he like Dr. Manhattan where he sees all time at once?
maybe. Actually, it's probably the case. He said they've left for Fort Dragonia. Not much else has changed here, except Eric.
Mhm.
There's a hidden room.
There is.
You go behind what is it, like a counter or a desk?
Behind the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you press a button.
A secret exit deposits us down a ladder.
Yes.
What's down here, Chris?
Well, first of all, it's full of junk. There's wires all over the place. There is no cable management here. And
There's a bunch of car batteries.
yeah. The epoch
Yes, the epoch, dude. That's something.
from Chrono Trigger is
Hold
here.
on, wait. This is like your first clear indication that there is a connection to me.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Chris, what is the epoch?
Hold on. Wow, it's the time machine from Chrono Trigger.
It's like if you wanted a car in your house, you couldn't do it. You have to disassemble the car and rebuild it inside your house.
Yeah.
Like someone has done that.
So this explains a lot of things, I think.
How?
Well,
What does this explain?
Actually, it introduces a lot of questions, but I do remember discovering this thing in my original playthrough, but I don't think it was at this moment.
No, I didn't learn about it till later.
I think there was a story moment in which you discover it. First of all, there's a beach bum down here,
Yeah.
and we had previously talked about how beach bums were reminiscent of news from Chrono Trigger, and so this is obviously that's how news are represented in this game.
He also stutters.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think that's how. Well, yeah, he does. It gives us a pores furnace frame.
Mhm.
This is the frame that steam heads would use.
But he says, welcome, take it, use it. Steam heads from Kislev?
Yeah,
The furnace frame?
yeah. Then he offers you a chance to change your name.
Yes.
I
Which
think,
is really fucked up question when you think about it.
yeah, it is. And I think if you press select, you can rotate your other characters.
Yes,
in
you
the
can
front.
rename anybody you
Yeah,
got.
sure. Thanks. You don't have to earn those rename cards from the Coliseum like you did in Final Fantasy VI. When you named your characters like Butthole and you wanted to make them change it back to normal because you were 12. Personal story. So, implication of this thing being down here, Eric.
You called your character Butthole?
I played Final Fantasy VI so many times that I had all kinds of dumb names.
All right, yeah.
I was 12, 13, whatever. I remember trying to name Edgar Cornholio, but there weren't enough characters, so
Did you just eliminate vowels?
I just named him Corn. So I always called him Corn after that.
Is it with a K?
No, C. Corn. It's good old corn. Maize. Anyway, so the implication of the epoch being down here, Eric.
Hi-ho.
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 This prophet, this guy, it's definitely Balthazar. He looks like him from Chrono...
Prophet of Time.
Yes, he looks like the guy from Chrono Trigger. He's the guy who built the epoch.
Is this like the room of all of his illegal shit? Like
I
the guy
guess.
that can rename people in the epoch are just down here?
I guess. Balthazar was a guru of zeal who was lost to time when Queen Zeal activated the Mammon machine.
Old man Bal.
Yes. Myths and legends.
Calamity.
The Mammon machine was a device designed to extract the power of Lavos, which was of course, the world-ending parasite from Chrono Trigger. While Balthazar was trapped in 2300 AD, aka the Apocalypse, Balthazar would eventually invent this thing, the epoch. It's a time machine. He later, I think before he died, he installed his memories into a Nu in the future, and then that Nu was able to assist Chrono and his team once they arrived there at the point in which they acquired the epoch.
Well, in the words of Doc, far out, dude.
Yeah, of course. I have no idea how he could be here unless the multiple worlds created by Surge's death resulted in...
Actually, I know how he's here.
Yes.
It's a video game.
Oh, yeah, also true, yes. The fracture of those two worlds perhaps maybe also happened at another point. If the worlds fractured when Surge died or didn't die, that was obviously before Balthazar would have died, because Balthazar would have died in like 2300 AD. So perhaps worlds also fractured at other moments as well. Who knows? This is a fucking weird video games. Other words, angels have lost their way more than once.
Okay, I almost said Power Man 5000 warned us, but I decided it was too stupid, but then you just said that again, so thanks.
It's true. If when angels lose their way is
Chris,
when the world's...
come on, man.
When the world's split.
God damn it.
Ding ding.
Hi-ho.
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 So anyway, there's not really much else you can do here except for just be fucking owned in the brain if you're a Chrono Trigger fan, right?
You can go to the Bluffs if you want. That's because I couldn't go there before. So it's like content that I can access and get some of those items now.
Yeah.
They're kind of useless.
My next note was to go to the Hydra marshes because Lucia had, of course, given me the information that she had sent the Dragoons there. She said, don't go there. So, of course, I want to go there. Are you ready to go there?
Yep.
Okay. So, let's go check out the Hydra marshes here in another world.
Isle of the Dead place.
Yes, indeed. This place is smelly and it sucks.
It's like Hydra marshes in the homeworld, but the environment is a thick layer of fog, and there appears to be significantly more mist rising up out of the surface.
Yeah, and you can actually see as you ascend up that like vine or tree or whatever it is, like you can see the colors becoming more vibrant because you're getting away from that, that fart
It's
cloud.
dissipating.
Yeah, it's bad.
The dude up front says after the Hydra were killed off, everything here became enveloped in a thick fog. Everything is dying and acidic. He blames the humans for killing all of the flora and fauna. He hopes we don't regret the destruction we have caused. Next note, oh shit, I get hurt by walking in this water.
Yeah, it sucks. But you do find out that there's some guys that have ascended up that vine that have some gear for us.
Like the first guy you pass is like, yo, you need to be wearing something else.
Yeah, get the fuck up there. So once you begin ascending that tree, the view becomes more vibrant as that bright orange comes in and it contrasts pretty well with that like green poison stuff. It looks pretty cool.
Good. Right now, it's the exact same bitmap backgrounds as the homeworld.
Cool.
For that first screen.
I found an electro jolt up there. Thank you. When I reached the top, the captain up there, he gave me some safety gear.
Captain's dressed in purple.
Yes. Yeah, I guess he's not a Dragoon. I don't know who these people are.
I mean, he gives us, I don't know.
Adventurers?
Yeah, but he tells us we're nuts for walking around without safety gear. It's like, oh shit, dude, what are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're all poison. Here, take this.
And I'm like, don't you have that heal all? Come on, man. So,
you're not in battle, use your element.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think he gives it to us out of pity?
I guess, yeah.
He also is like, hey, monsters are looking deep down in this forest. They haven't explored those parts yet. We don't know what's out there.
Yeah, there's like a demi-human goblin man up there that's talking about how they haven't gone deeper into the forest quite yet.
What's the first enemy you fought here?
Oh, God. I went back down to the bottom, and now the poison doesn't hurt me, and then I ran into a centipede.
Yeah, it's a 3-headed centipede. Gross. Oh, no, wait. It has 3 tails at the end.
Yes.
It's still gross. A segmented bug with a tooth maw. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I wrote a centipede is exactly what it sounds like. These things are 100% nightmare fuel for me. Go ahead and write it down on the list, Eric. Scare the shit out of me. I don't like millipedes.
It has a move called Giddy Breath.
I didn't get that. I didn't get much of the enemy's text because I have Glenn and Glenn owns.
Yeah, it just destroys people.
I just use X Strike on everything and kill it all. So anyway.
The next thing I thought was a snob goblin.
Yeah.
It's a green toad man from Mega Man 4 with blue hands.
Yeah, they're booger goblins.
Dude, he's also wearing khakis and the WCW Intercontinental Championship belt.
I guess so. These guys are also the occupying race of this marsh now, I guess.
Divas aren't here.
Yeah. Later on, you encounter their large adult sons, the Snib Goblins. So it's the Snib Goblins and the Snob Goblins. The difference between the Snib Goblin and the Snob Goblin is that the Snibs are taller, and they look as if they have smelt a high-rising fart fume. You must, of course, use the green tinkler to drop those vines in the further down towards further areas.
If you get up through.
Yeah, if you don't use it, it like smacks you, and you move backwards, and one of your party members is like, hey, Serge, watch out. Are you okay?
You have to tinkle the... It's like when they have to fight the thing at the end of Coneheads.
Tinkle the junk, yes.
Narful the Garthak.
Of course. You pretty much just proceed through the area.
Yeah, you go to the area where the Hydra is in the home world.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so here it's just like a poison lake.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some goblins that are talking about a rare flower that they can now get because, quote, Hydra be extinct now.
Yeah, it can finally be theirs.
Yes.
Humans have destroyed the ecosystem and kept clean water out, which is why the Hydra died. With the ruler of the forest dead and the dwarves gone, it belongs to them.
Yep.
They see us, they think we're weak from poison, and decide to have some fun tearing us up. Chris, this is where I really thought, this is complex logic of sentient creatures.
Yes.
Do all monsters talk?
All monsters.
Why do I slaughter them?
All monsters are sentient. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
I murdered them and pull a life sparkle from the pond.
Yes, of course we do. Oh, God. So it doesn't matter. Like, if you go to Homeworld, you murder all the dwarves. If you go here, you murder all the goblins.
Yeah, these dumb monsters who are just eating bugs and shit finally have rule of the forest themselves.
It is not a good situation for anybody. So, we got that life sparkle. On the way out, you can find the good backbone.
Yeah, you enter a green cave. The game tells me there is something on the ground. I push the X button.
Yes, of course.
It's good backbone.
Skelly remembers that he had good posture.
From his grandma's upbringing.
Thanks, Grandma. That's a good technique to get from your grandma. Grandmas usually have bad posture, right?
He remembers, since they're all scoliosis.
Yeah.
He remembers his grandma, who we've already met. He bets she is worried sick.
Yes.
She was. She thought we were you.
Of course.
The award-winning Go Nintendo podcast covers the latest Nintendo news while also diving into what's hot in pop culture, music trivia, hands-on impressions, and so much more. Hopefully we can make you laugh, too. You'll find new episodes of the Go Nintendo podcast on the Greenlit Podcast Network every single week.
Hey, Lassie, what are you doing here? Timmy's in a well. Sequelcast 2 and Friends is a podcast looking at movies in a franchise, one film at a time, like Harry Potter, Hellraiser, and The Hobbit. And sometimes the hosts talk about video games and TV as well. And now it's part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. Oh, Lassie, we don't need to rescue Timmy. He likes the well enough, I guess. Darth Vader is Luke's father. Lassie, I told you to lay off the spoilers.
So, let's see here. So then you can, of course, take the life sparkle back to Viper Manor.
I didn't do this. I forgot.
And you go up there. You, of course, use the item on that flower thing, and it brings NeoFio, a humanoid flower, to life. It grows.
NeoFio is the Eevee of this game, right?
The Eevee of this game?
Yeah, like you can shift it into different paths and different mutations based on...
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's NeoFio or Pip. One of the two.
I think it's NeoFio.
Okay, cool.
Initializing fake net. Eric is a moron. It's Pip.
It grows, stands up, and it yells, "Blossom!" And it assumes that we are indeed its master. And it says, "Nice to meet you, bud."
Oh, so it doesn't want to watch the hit 90s ABC TGIF show?
No.
Okay.
This is not a special episode of Blossom. This is a special episode of Retrograde Amnesia, though.
A special episode where we have to learn about mutating our pets.
Of course, yeah, don't do that. Nice to meet you, bud. Then joins the party. Play the music.
Victory music.
NeoFio is a, quote, flower child. Age, 5. Although I think it should be 0. Unless they are counting when it was in utero before it became...
Yeah, maybe it had like a 5-year gestation period.
Yeah. Origin is Viper Manor, of course. Its height is 4 feet tall. Its weight is 44 pounds. Its build is undefinable. It came preloaded with a shirt in like a medallion. Maybe the medallion is not a medallion. Maybe it's more of like, what do you call the center of the flower? Where the bees land
Stamen?
on? Whatever. Who knows?
I don't know. Fake net. What the hell is that called?
Initializing fake net. Did either of you pass the 3rd grade? It's the pistol.
The Japanese name of this thing is called Fio. Its innate element, of course. Guess.
Yellow.
No, it's green, Eric.
Oh,
it's a plant. It's green.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
Thank you.
Its accent is normal, but it changes all F's to PH. So
Far out. No, that's fat. That's playing Phantasy Star.
Yeah. This thing has a combo. Do you want me to go ahead and discuss that right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
It has a combo called Tossed Salad.
God damn it, Richard.
With another character that we have not met
He
yet.
tosses another character salad.
Yeah. I'm not going to read the other character's name yet.
What's about NeoFio's fortune, Chris?
NeoFio's fortune. Whether your birth was by God's hand or random chance is unknowable. In either case, treasure your life. And that's a pretty good fortune.
Not bad.
It's pretty good. Some character development there for NeoFio, maybe. So anyway, that's NeoFio. We'll probably never talk about NeoFio again because I didn't put this thing in my party, so it just kind of sat there.
I think it might have been Pip, but the fake net's already corrected me, so.
Okay, thank you, Pip. Or no.
Hi-ho.
Thank you, Fake Net. Hi-ho.
This podcast would be dead in the water without me. I'm amazed either of you can read.
Okay, Eric, we're back. Thank you for the break.
So now I had to go back to Termina in my game.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't have to go back here at all because I had already kind of
Got
done
Glenn.
my
I think this
stuff
may
here.
be somewhat redundant with your game, but I don't remember this from our previous experience, so
Okay.
it could be new. My brain could be dog shit.
Yeah.
So I'm using another Termina plays. As we land, I approach the demi-human who was unloading shit for that rich guy for the last week.
Yeah.
He is sitting down now,
Oh, I see.
suggesting that it's his break since his boss is also taking a break.
Yeah. And in your case, it's because Korcha told him to fuck off?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he gave him that wine.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, he's drunk.
So then I go to main Termina Street. As we approach the flower lady, we notice Glenn speaking with her. Glenn is sitting on some boxes with his feet dangling off like a child. Immediately, he tells the lady that General Viper and his men are headed to Fort Dragonia.
Mm-hmm.
The major power of the East Poor is up to something. They seem to have heard rumors of the frozen flame in El Nido and are coming to investigate. The flower lady concludes that the poor army may invade any time.
Yes.
She wonders if she'll be safe. Glenn responds by telling her all of Viper's men are moving to the fort. It's far from town and has good defenses. Is this a good strategy?
No. I don't think so.
Does Glenn know what he's doing? Oh, he should have been like, no, we're actually abandoning you to get this relic no one knows existed for a cat man that is corrupting my boss.
Yeah, it's... I think things are going over Glenn's head right now.
Glenn was ordered to stay at the manor to protect Miss Riddell, but, quote, but she felt very uneasy about the way General Viper was acting before he left, so... And the camera pans over to my party,
Yeah.
watching Glenn. Kid asks Serge if he heard Glenn, noting that Lynx and his mob got the hell out of the manor. Kid notes that Fort Dragonia is a ruin built by ancient Dragonians.
Mm-hmm.
She's heard there's been all kind of mystic rituals there. It has been said that the dragon tier is needed for those rituals. In summation, Kid concludes that all of this is no longer just our problem. If we don't stop these buggers, they're going to cause some major hell around here.
In my case, I didn't get much information about the Dragon Tier except from the Chief Diarrhea. I don't really have anybody to explain to me what's going on because it's just fucking Glenn and Guile.
You just got randoms with
Yeah,
you?
and so it's just like Mach is like, hey, maybe you should go figure it out. And Glenn's like, oh, okay, let's go that way. At least some of the systems in the lore that's been introduced in the game is being reinforced to you because you have Kid and I don't.
Yeah. Rasley points out that Fort Dragonia is on top of Mount Pyre, southeast of here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll need a bigger boat.
Of course.
Glenn lifts himself down off the boxes like a child.
Yeah.
He says, quote, blonde braids, a blood red blouse. That sounds like the description of that thief from the Radical Dreamers. And that red bandana, he sounds just like the ghost Karsh was describing.
Yes.
Kid's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to fight us? Sorry, we're on our way to go Fort Dragonia of yours, because he just told them
Yeah.
where they need to go. Glenn is taken aback, seemingly surprised that they know about this fort. He asks what business we have here. Quote, this makes me even more suspicious. I will draw my sword if need be. The motherfucker then battle poses and puts his hand on his sword. The florist tells him to stop, citing his brother would never do shit like this. Glenn says to leave his brother out of this, just as Kid tells him not to get his knickers in a rot.
Of course, never get your knickers in a rot.
Kid is basically like, yeah, let him do what he wants. I don't care. But then Glenn disarms. He apologizes and then, because he is an idiot, decides he has no interest in who we are. He only wants to know the truth about what is happening, but quote, but I shall follow my own way to find the truth. Meaning you don't get Glenn.
Yeah.
It is accurate to assume Glenn won't join specifically because Kid fucked with him exactly once.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what was the difference between your scenario and mine? And
Kid
the answer
insulted
is the answer is that he doesn't trust Kid.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Glenn offers unsolicited advice as he walks away. When you get on your boat, first head north, then head east. Quote, you should find a small island there. A retired dragoon lives there. Find him and ask for his advice. Side quest.
Yeah. Hey, side quest or next quest, one or the other.
Yeah. So one more thing here. I approach Korcha, who's still at the dock.
Yes.
Not in my party. He agrees to let us use his boat under two conditions. Kid rebuffs him and says we'll all die in that thing anyway. Korcha continues with his two conditions. First condition. Give the dragon tier to Korcha if we ever find it.
Oh, because he wants to recover it for Goldov.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's theirs. Next condition. Once all this ruckus is over and he starts mumbling, he says he wants Kid to be his wife.
Okay, Korcha.
Kid says, what did you just say? Korcha repeats himself in all capital letters. Kid says don't rest with me and threatens to kick Korcha's ass so hard he'll kiss the moons.
Yes.
Korcha responds by saying it was love at first sight. Korcha doesn't care about her thief past and doesn't want her to feel forced.
Woo.
He can just wait until all the fuss is over. We get some options now.
Mm-hmm.
It says, just tell him that you will, or I refuse. After I select, just tell him that you will, Kid horse kicks Serge in the balls. Serge takes a knee. Kid tells Surge this is none of your business. It's me own problem. The game just broke its own rules.
Yeah.
By trying to like tell Kid what to say with dialogue, and then you pick the wrong thing, and she attacks you for telling her that.
Wow.
That's cool as shit.
So I'm noticing something here. I chose not to save Kid, and my reward was Glenn.
Mhm.
You chose to save Kid, and you didn't really get, you got Corcha or whatever, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But you got a better game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm lonely. I'm Surge. I have nobody to guide me. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I have no purpose. Yet you now have purpose. You have characters to help you out. You have a mission. You have goals.
But now all that's
beautiful.
in the past, Chris. Glenn is in your future.
That's true.
It's not my future.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to get dual Einlanders, man.
Yeah.
Kid tells Corcha she understands, but this isn't something she can agree with on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
She'll consider it until she settles the score with Lynx. That's the best answer she can promise.
Yeah.
Very smooth answer.
Yeah.
Corcha's like, okay, you can have the boat. Corcha tells Surge to be careful. His life is not his own anymore. He's carrying Corcha's wife-to-be.
Mm-hmm.
Kid gets goosebumps. Corcha joins the party again, permanently, I guess.
Oh, thanks, Corcha. We don't need to go over all his shit again, do we?
No. Then my next notice, he jumps off the dock and swims home, and I said, I hope all these fuckers do this.
Yeah, Matcha did the same thing.
We now have control over the boat.
Yes. We can now sail. So
I have a one-stop in Goldov.
yeah, let's go.
I go to Goldov, another world, residential tower. Mel sees Blondie. She says she has something to discuss with her, Blondie's kid. Kid tells her to speak up, and then Mel in third person tells Kid she wants to speak with her privately. They walk 3 steps over to the ladder. Kid takes a knee. Kid asks what Mel wants to talk about. Mel starts stuttering, and then it fades to black. After the fade, Kid says, sure, you got it. The problem was driving me up a wall, too. Mel, I understand your feelings real well. Don't show worry.
Huh.
I won't get in your way.
Of course not.
Oh, this is about Corcha.
Yeah.
Mel was mad because she knew that Corcha proposed to Kid.
Yeah, okay.
Mel thanks Kid, then asks to be taken with her. She also gives us a Goldovian switch frame.
Oh, thank you.
Mel joined Chaparty.
Oh,
Victory
great.
music.
Great.
I don't add her right away. She says rats and is disappointed she has to stay behind. She starts wiping her nose and doesn't stop. I leave.
Of course not. Okay, Eric, would you like some information on Mel?
I like that she just wipes her nose because kids are gross and just do that shit all the time.
Can confirm.
What's this about Mel?
Mel is a doodling brat. Her age is 10. Her origin is Goldov, another. Height 4'3", weight 84 pounds. Build thin. 84 pounds is pretty stout for 4'3".
I was gonna say, that's
She's
a
got
lot.
some muscle. She's right-handed. Her Japanese name is also Mel. Her innate ability is, or her innate element is yellow. Her weapon is a boomerang. Her accent is Goldovian, plus speaks in third person. She also has a combo called Double Take. It's with Kid. It's a steal move.
That's thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
They're
Pretty
both
cool.
stealers. They're both thieves, radical dreamers.
Yes. Mel's fortune says, there's no need to worry. Your love at heart can be hindered by no one. And the Mel says, I'm not in love with anyone. And that's it.
I hope.
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
Where do you want to go next,
Water
Eric?
Dragon?
Yeah, let's go to Water Dragon Island. So at this point in time, once you have the boat, in your case from Corcha, in my case from Matcha, you could pretty much go almost anywhere in this game.
Yes.
There's a couple of places that are grayed out, but we are going
Pinked out.
Pinked out, thank you. But we are going to cover the places where you can actually do a couple things, get a couple items, get some dialogue, etc. So the first thing we can go is to Water Dragon Island. It is indeed dried up, as we heard from the Goldovians. I think the fossil...
Bone dry.
Bone dry, indeed. The Fossil Valley music's playing here?
Yes, it is Drowned Valley. There are clear remnants of columns and classic architecture here. It's all messed up.
Yeah, it very much looks like a dried up lake where there's like where there's places where there would be like waterfalls and springs and stuff. It's very much gone. Person at the front tells us that according to the fairies that live here, which actually took me by surprise because I had no knowledge of
the Rasley.
of Rasley, so I was like, oh, fairies, we're doing that too. According to the fairies that live here, the legendary dragon god really exists.
This guy is wearing purple gear like the guy in Hydra marshes.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same kind of explorer team.
Yeah, adventure crew or whatever. He says that there's a thick wall of ice at the front of the cavern that proves this theory.
What? How's a thick wall of ice prove that?
Because if it's a thick wall of ice and you can't melt it, then of course it's got to be made by a dragon, right?
Yeah, El Nido sure is full of mysteries.
Of course.
Some other guy tells us the place we're standing was covered with water just a few days ago, but it's run dry to very recent weird weather.
Yeah, and that's...
Did Surge cause this? Did his presence in this world cause this?
It could. It's interesting, too, because I thought the way people were talking in Goldov, the implication was that this place had been dried up for a while.
Yeah, that's
but
what I
apparently
thought.
it happened a couple days ago, so I think your theory is founded.
I thought we were lining up that the world without Surge died over time, not 4 days ago or whatever.
Right, yeah. Interesting, very interesting. There's also a guy that will give you some bones here.
Yeah, he's behind up there, and he says this, quote, thing at the dried up waterfall. It's kind of creepy, so I'll give it to you for free. Oh, no thanks, needed. Is later pleased to have nothing to do with it now. What is this?
It's a sturdy ribs. Go ahead.
They belong to Skelly.
Of course it is. Skelly chimes in and comments on how he had good physique. He used to do acrobatics. And then I wrote here, on the same note of me being lonely in this game.
Wish I had Skelly.
Skelly is my only friend in this world. He's the only person that I'm around that has any sort of personality.
He also says he used to be a clown in the circus.
Yes, that's true.
And what else is in treasure chest all over this place?
Iron?
Lots of iron.
Lots of iron, yeah.
I went and go made some iron weapons and armor, and I beat the shit out of things with these things.
Yeah, it's good. Then you can go up to the second screen. There are indeed fairies here. This is not some sort of mystical beast that we don't know anything about. There are fairies just floating around everywhere.
There's also enemies.
It is remarkably interesting that there are fairies here, because I was told that there were dragon gods, but I was not told there were fairies.
Right. These are fairies like Sleeping Beauty fairies.
Yes. At the top of this area, too, we see the aforementioned wall of ice. But, of course, as you mentioned, there are enemies here. It's a goddamn Scorpioid.
Scoriopod.
Scorpioid. I wrote Scorpioid, but it's probably Scoriopod, whatever.
Scorpions, but their tails are their faces.
Yeah, they're kind of fleshy looking, too. They're not great. I did not want to see this.
No.
I don't like any...
It's a lot to do.
It's gross. But I think that's the only thing that's here.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't feel I was equipped to fight these either. Like, the battles took too long.
Yeah, they were a little bit stronger than the other enemies, but I got Glenn.
So we got a portrait character up here.
Yeah, the first fairy I spoke with was a portrait character named Rosetta, like the stone.
She tells us to turn back now if we're here seeking the dragon god.
She says, "Dear sirs.
Dear sirs.
If you're here to see the dragon god, please turn back." She also has purple hair, pointy ears, a pointy hat, and an anime face, which I guess is kind of like what Razzie looks like as well.
She says this island, once called the Island of Springs, is desolate, as you see it now.
Yes. Which, I guess she's important. I guess we're going to have to talk.
Yeah, she's a portrait. It's got to be something.
Yeah.
Or she tends bar.
Maybe.
The other fairy here notes that they can fly, but they aren't too strong.
Yes.
They can go longer if they catch the wind.
Yes, it's a different story if we can catch the wind. The wind is capricious, just like we are.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thanks. There's also a fairy at the top of the mountain that tells us a small star fell into Triplet Isle. Don't know what that is.
I didn't get that one.
That was a long time ago, is what they said. So I don't know what Triplet Isle is. I guess we'll find out later. And there's another one that says the mist of the sea is an invitation to dark, embracing the abysmal darkness where the lost souls gather.
Dude, get a therapist.
Hell yeah, buddy. And there's also a reddish-colored fairy on the side of the screen that says, "We fairies are born from the morning dewdrops of an aged tree. The large tree that stands in the center is called the Fairy Godmother." Eric, much like you wanted the game with the giant robot on the cover, I wanted the next Chrono Trigger. And this is what I've got. So can you imagine my disposition at this point in time? I mean, we have had the Link's Chrono Trigger scene, but still, wow, what's going on here?
Another fairy, seemingly to no one, says, they come seeking the warm and radiant glow of life, a victim to share their sufferings. Be careful, be careful.
Yeah, it's all very ominous and weird, but...
I mean, fairies, you got to think speak in riddles, right?
Yeah, of course. We're probably going to have to figure out what their purpose is and where they come from, or is just... Are they just like monsters where they just exist?
Yeah.
And they, you know...
They don't have any enough elements for us to grind out of them to fight them.
Of course. They're not hostile. That's all. That's all you can do there.
That's it.
There's one more quick trip you can make.
Isle of the Damned.
Isle of the Damned. The song Isle of the Damned plays here.
Dude, holy shit.
This place is hell in a cave.
There's a crackling noise when you walk. There's clear implications of blood and viscera at every angle. Whatever happened here is fucked.
Yeah, it's bad.
But you get to a teeth cave.
Inside there, you can find the mixed bones.
Just the rest of them.
Yeah, all the rest of Skelly. He's like, I don't know which bone is which, but whatever.
Do we ever discover who deposited Skelly in these places, or?
That's a good question.
I don't remember.
Because if he would have been killed, then all of his bones would have like been in the same place, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So maybe he had an enemy that like maimed him and cut him apart, and then I don't know, who knows.
If you can manage it, if I die, if you want to put like my arm in Seattle in my head, like in Texas, I think that'd be cool.
I might get arrested for that, so
permission's right here. Granted, evidence.
So at this point in time, we've completed Skelly.
Yes,
he's completed. He sings "Them Bones"
by Alice in Chains.
No, them dancing bones. No, he said, the head bone is connected to
yeah,
not the Alice in Chains songs. Is like, hell yeah, and then leaves. He's gone. My only friend is gone.
Apparently, he's all one piece now. He's sure we'll meet again somewhere someday. He'll return the favor. I get the hell out of here.
Yes, of course, we already know where Skelly lives, so we can head straight there, right?
Yes, we go to Termina, Skelly's house.
We go into Skelly's house to talk to Grandma, and the music stops.
We just get waves.
Yeah, beautiful waves. Skelly runs into the house like a fucking cartoon.
We go to speak with Grandma.
He says, I'm home. Grandma recognizes the voice and announces himself again.
No, you walk in there, you talk to Grandma, and then a massive bell starts to chime. It's the clock in the corner, and she says it hasn't chimed in ages.
Oh, I missed that.
And then Skelly runs in the fucking front door.
Yeah. When he hugs Grandma, she wonders how he's become so thin. He tries to break the news that he's
Yeah, she says, dead. Are you eating well? Which is what your grandma always says.
Yeah, he's trying to say, he's thinking about saying he's dead, but like Grandma doesn't really give a shit. She's just glad that he's home. And then Skelly begins to whimper. And he says that he's crying because he's so happy. He says grandmother told him, you always told me, don't hold back tears of joy. It's kind of a touching moment,
Yeah, she says his name and he kneels and cries in her lap.
Yeah.
Are we not going to talk about how the skeleton's crying?
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that. Well, actually, we can't talk about that because it's impossible, but yes. He's crying magic tears.
Yeah.
When you talk to Grandma again, she notes that the gods must have answered her prayers. I guess the dragon gods or some gods, who knows.
Yeah, the belief system here isn't really consistent.
No, not at all, especially in Termina. So Skelly then wants us to leave him alone with Grandma for a while, which means go outside and come back. So when you go back inside, Skelly says, nyak, 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 nyak. Thanks for giving him the chance to hang out with Grandma again, which is also a sweet thing to say. And then you can ask Skelly to help you out.
And your choices are please or not now.
Yeah, and of course we say please because we like Skelly. And then Skelly becomes the life of your party.
Victory music.
Great. Thank you, Skelly, for joining us. Skelly is a skeleton clown. He is 32 years old. He is from the Xenon mainland. His height is 6'2". He weighs 51 pounds. His build? Guess.
Skellington.
Close. Bony. He's left-handed.
Ew.
Yes, I'm left-handed. Shut up. His Japanese name is Scarl.
Sure.
What? Scarl.
What's up, Scarl?
Hey, Scarl.
How's it going, Scarl? Hi-ho.
Hey.
Scarl.
His element is, of course, black. His weapon is a glove. His accent is casual English. He has no combos. So this is the earliest point that you can get Skelly, but I think you can get him at pretty much any point in the game. So thanks, Skelly, for being the life of our party. I did not put him in my party, so he just kind of sat there with Grandma.
Put him in your fortune document?
I thought of putting him in my party to replace my other black element character, Guile.
Good?
I don't know.
Because between him and Lucia, I don't know that all...
Yeah, I have Guile, so I think he's probably the best black element that I can acquire at this point, but we'll see. Skelly, his fortune is you who has been revived from the edge of despair must share your light of hope with all. So thanks, Skelly. You're back from the brink of death. Now you're here.
The
edge of death to help us fight monsters and commit additional genocide later, probably. Thank you, Skelly. Okay, Eric. Now it's time to head to the next chapter. I think actually it's interesting too because this is optional. I think you can skip this, especially on the.
This whole thing's optional.
On your path, you can definitely skip it. I think on my path, I might have to do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So the next chapter is called Hermit's Hideaway. Eric, is it guidance from the night of yore, the beckoning of additional lore, or meeting the other swordsman?
Where we're going, this tree trunk, I did see a sword laid out on a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
We're meeting the other swordsman.
That's correct. Congratulations.
Your rhyming couplets did not fool me.
Yes, I tried.
So Hermit's Hideaway is kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a
northeast.
Yeah, northeast of Termina. And you arrive there, it's mostly sunny, but...
Birds chirping, flies buzzing.
There's no music. I didn't notice this originally, but once they pointed out, it was obvious that there's black smoke
Yeah,
coming from this
on
thing.
the world map, there's this, the smoking holes, the part you can access.
Yeah, I just assumed that it was like chimney smoke or something, but of course it's not. Glenn.
It's like a camping area. It's like you're on campgrounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's actually like laundry hanging out stuff. There's a well.
Yeah. It doesn't look that fucked up. It just looks like it's smoldering.
Yeah, but Glenn, in my case, immediately is surprised because the place is on fire.
Kid asks what happened here and asks if Lynx did this.
Yeah, Glenn actually says the same thing. He wonders if Lynx could have done this, and I guess Glenn has been filled in on the circumstances because, Glenn didn't see Lynx, but of course we must have filled him in because we can't talk and we're Surge.
But then a voice comes on and says, "That's correct." Maybe not.
Yes, of course. Whenever you hear the accent, you know that we're going to be introduced to some electricity, some wonderful moments of Harley.
My note says Harold decloaks.
Harold.
But Harley decloaks and flips into existence and confirms she did this. Whatever this is, I don't know, under Lynx's orders.
Yes, Monsieur Lynx ordered her to do so. Her presence immediately declares two things to us.
What's that?
Number one, Radius, who lives here, is important to Lynx's plan, and Harley is the executor of Lynx's scenario, which we kind of already assumed, but she outright says it here.
Kid says, "Not you again."
In my case, Glenn demands to know what Harley has done with Radius. He seems to be familiar with her, but that's probably the case no matter who you bring
I'm
here.
sure she was bopping around Dragoon Manor.
Yeah,
right?
but if you bring like Greco and Mojo here, then probably somebody's like, "Oh yeah, it's you." It's probably.
I've heard the life story.
Yes, of course. Harley seems to be amused by Glenn's fire. Did she say anything like that to you?
She just asked if she wanted to know why she burned this place to the ground.
Yeah, same thing for me.
And the answers are tell me or not really.
Yeah, I don't know why you would say not really. Speed
upset
runs.
Harley.
Speed runs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said tell me. Harley says that she did it to teach us a lesson. And second of all, she did it
to get rid of the geezer.
Yeah, second of all, to get rid of the geezer who lives here, which we've heard the word geezer in our Termina podcast. Please go to patreon.com/retroam and check it out. It's pretty good. He is also an ally of the Acacia Dragoons. And she hears that he's pretty skilled. However, he wasn't here when she burned this fucking place down.
She's disappointed, and she wonders where he went. She follows that up by saying Lynx gave her one more order. To slow down our pursuit. Quote, "Here I go."
Of course, slowing down our pursuit is much different than ending our pursuit because, Lynx was upset when Surge jumped off the balcony. Like, he needs Surge. So I would assume that any battles that we encounter at the behest of Lynx are
not
to like
kill.
slow him down. Set your phasers to stun on Surge, please.
They're staggering Surge.
Yes, everybody kind of gets into battle pose.
Edge of
and
death plays.
Brink of death plays and stirs up the intensity that this moment needs.
She says, "Ein Fin, take all the time you wish."
Yes.
What does that word mean, Chris? French speaker.
Say it again.
Ein Fin, ENFIN.
Oh, I think you finished the
Finally.
Finally, yeah, thanks. Okay, good job. Did you notice the battlefield render here?
Not particularly.
It's pretty cool. It includes all the things that we just mentioned. Like it has the laundry rack, it has the well, and you can see the black smoke off to the side. So it's very well realized here. Harley is here. She's a black element. But for me, during this battle, she mostly used white elements for some reason. I guess because she didn't want to kill Surge.
Yeah, she uses meteorite.
Yeah.
It's she makes the battlefield nice and white for you.
Yeah, so I guess like it. I don't know if this is deliberate or not, but it's interesting too that she says that she's here to slow us down, and she's also like not using the best shit you can use on Surge, which I thought was kind of cool.
The whole point of this battle is to steal the moon glasses, a rare item that reduces all damage by 25%. They can also be a post-battle reward.
Oh, well, I can't do this because I don't have a stealing character.
But you have a post-battle reward, right?
Yes.
You can beat her and get this. I must have done this for, say, 3 hours.
Eric.
While watching NFL football.
For the people.
Tom Brady get his teeth kicked in.
Yeah. So, I found this battle ridiculously easy.
It was so easy. I took her down in like 2 or 3 turns.
I used one X strike. And
yeah, you get X strike.
And she immediately crumpled, and I think like one more hit knocked her out. So, yeah.
But I did it for 3 hours. This is fun to me. Didn't get it. Eventually, I moved on because we're doing a podcast.
I got a photon beam as a drop, but
yes.
no star level.
Oh, I got a lot of photon beams every time.
Yeah,
didn't need those.
Congratulations. So, one thing to point out here is you don't get a star level here, probably because this is optional.
Yeah.
You can miss this. I think if you proceed to the next area, you can miss this battle.
Harley says we're strong. Quote, tres forte. Then asks us to turn back. He says Kid is nothing but bad luck and will bring nothing but misfortune to our lives. Chris, French speaker.
Yes.
Tres forte.
Tre forte, very
Tre
strong.
forte.
Tre forte, very strong.
You are very strong.
Yes.
Very good.
Thanks, Eric.
And so she just leaves.
Teleports nights into dreams. She's gone. I'm going to say that every time, by the way.
That's fine. I'll put a sound effect in every time.
Okay. Yeah, you've already cut it, so. Adina! So then we hear an old man ask if we are one of Lynx's minions, which of course we are not. It is Radius. Glenn is relieved to see Radius.
Radius is relieved the Munchkin flew away.
Oh, cool. I didn't get that. In my case, Radius recognizes Glenn and says that it's been a while, thus finally confirming some sort of unique dialogue based on the character that you bring.
Mm.
Radius recognizes Glenn and says that he hasn't seen him in a very long time.
In my case, Radius says that Riddell told him that Lynx and Viper went to Fort Dragonia and he went into hiding.
Yeah, I got that as well.
Okay.
He also notes that the general probably has no idea what happened here.
Yeah, it's Lynx 100%.
Yeah, which is kind of calls the tactical abilities of General Viper into question here. You can't realize that Lynx is...
Or he's under a spell or something.
Yeah, being manipulated, yeah.
But he thought all of this would happen, so he built this sturdy stronghold underground.
Yes.
He thinks it's still intact. Where was he for the... where's Radius? Why the hell, he just built this? How long has this been happening?
He must... Well, I think that comes into play later.
Okay.
I think we learn that later. Suddenly, in my case, since he was immediately speaking with Glenn, he was like, oh, there's other people here. He suddenly notices Guile and Surge, and Radius asks Glenn who these people are. Surge, of course, is hi, I'm dead, and he invites us inside, and the scene fades to Radius's underground doomsday prepper hovel.
If we do walk around outside, though, there's giant blue, red, and green flowers and freakishly large weeds. In the back is the smoking tree busted in a crude fence. I'll walk up some logs and descend the obvious ladder down that large tree.
Oh, interesting, because in my case, it just teleported me down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got to explore a little bit.
I guess because of Glenn's...
Pursuit?
Glenn's familiarity with him, it automatically took it down here.
So Radius's hideout has a bunch of shields, a table full of wine and potion bottles, and racks of weapons and farming tools. A sword is neatly laid down on a blanket, and a bunch of bar tables and footstools are here too.
Yeah, it looks like it's very traditional and samurai looking.
Yes.
He's got the wall scrolls with what appears to be kanji on there. I can't read kanji, but it looks like it. It might even be the same scrolls that were on the walls in the homeworld where he was the chieftain.
It's possible.
So that was a neat touch.
Good catch.
The chairs were, of course, they've been just carved out of logs and everything. This is very obviously a place that he brought a bunch of shit to and then crafted the rest of it around the fact that he just lives in this fucking forest.
You know what else Radius crafted for us? Lore.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, if characters in this game can do anything, they can give us lore.
Mm-hmm. What does he confirm?
Of course. Well, when I got here, I was relieved. As Surge, I was relieved that there's finally an adult I can speak with to tell me what to do. I need a Citan at this point in time. I don't care what... I don't care,
You need a deceiver?
Yeah, no, I just need somebody to tell me what's going on. Because, it's just Glenn and Guile, and they're dumb. They don't have anything to say. Glenn just wants to borrow my boat, so...
Glenn, to me, seems very stupid.
Yeah, which is not a read I had before, but
no.
Here we are. So now we have this worldly person of lordly caliber that can guide us through these dark times. And I am hoping this man is Radius. Please be Radius. So when we speak with him again, he tells us that he once wielded a sword as a proud member of the Akashian Dragoons. Glenn's father, Garai Zappa, the blacksmith, and he used to tear it up on the battlefield.
It actually used the word tear it up.
Yeah, question. What battlefield? Who were they fighting? Oh, they answer in the next line. I wrote that down. He says that was a good 15 years ago. He says Garai lost his life on the central continent, and then at that point in time, Radius vowed to become his son's guardian. He officially retired 4 years ago after Dario received his father's sword, the Einlanzer. Now, I have some thoughts about where they were fighting. Mm-hmm. I think this was in the DS remake, and it might, or maybe it was also in the PlayStation port of Chrono Trigger. There is a post-game cutscene called the Fall of Guardia, where shit was on fire and there was this huge battle going on, and some text to indicate that at some point in time Guardia was attacked and somebody stole the legendary sword, the Masamune.
Oh no!
And then it fades. I think they were trying to create some sort of... I don't know if they were trying to create a connection to this game or if they were trying to create a connection for a larger Chrono universe that was never realized. But that must be where they were fighting. They must have been fighting in the war between Guardia and Por.
Gotta be.
Which was something that happened. I know the answer is no, but do you remember the character Dalton from Chrono Trigger?
Nope.
Okay. He was the Queen's main general henchman. He had the golems that took half your HP. He got sucked into a time warp.
That game sounds crazy.
Yeah. There are many fan theories that suspect that maybe Dalton got sucked into a time warp and then landed in or around 1000 AD and then helped Por take over
and then
Guardia.
Just continued doing nefarious shit.
Yeah, but I think that that maybe that one line was maybe a reference to that alternate ending.
But Radius then says he's been here ever since, living a carefree life from the rest of the world. Didn't he just say he built this place after Viper started losing his mind when Lynx came around?
I thought he said 4 years ago.
I got 15 years ago.
He came here 4 years ago after Dario took up the sword from Garai.
I see. Okay.
So I think that's what happened. So he continues on. He says Dario is gone, however. He says after that, Lynx approached Viper. Lynx lured Viper with the tales of the frozen flame, which is said to heal all illnesses and fulfill any dreams, which tells us nothing. It's like, oh, MacGuffin. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, MacGuffin. Mr. MacGuffin. Radius doesn't know what Lynx is plotting, but
despite just saying it.
Yes. But he thinks Viper intends to overthrow the nation of Poor with the power of this legendary flame. So Viper wants to execute the Manhattan Project here. He's just trying to get nukes. He's trying to get power to...
Well, it's funny because the next line is Poor is a nation of militarism, so America.
Yeah.
And has brought suffering to so many on the Centrals and continent.
Yeah, and Viper's response to that is just to get nuclear weapons and rule with militarism, because isn't that Viper's structure?
Mutually assured destruction.
Isn't that the structure of how this of how El Nido is ruled, with a military leadership?
Yeah.
So he's really just trying to replace militarism with militarism, but he probably assumes himself to be benevolent and thinks he's better.
Like all dictators.
Of course.
Quote, perhaps the general envisions a bright and peaceful world, much like Guardia was at one time.
Yes.
Is he planning to find the answer as to why we have continued to hurt and kill each other since antiquity?
Yes. Interesting thing about the term antiquity. You know what that word means, actually?
Olden, I don't. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Olden times that are idealized, but were actually not that good?
It can mean that. One of the definitions as well is just the distant or ancient past.
No.
In the Chrono Trigger DS retranslation by Tom Slattery, he changes the name of the era from Dark Ages in the original to Antiquity. So I wonder if it's a coincidence that Radius uses the word here, or if it's a deliberate choice.
It's like, no, they had literacy, so it wasn't the Dark Ages.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Dark Ages is maybe a misnomer there, because that was actually, the era of Zeal is actually an era where there was a lot of knowledge. Either way, Radius does not want to involve himself in any conflicts, and he says there's no way he would want to face General Viper in battle. Radius then warns Surge that we should plan to engage Lynx in battle. He is a fearsome man. Rest here for the night and leave in the morning.
There are a lot of cursed spirits wandering the seas around here.
Yeah. Rumor has it they attack ships and suck the souls out of humans, which I'm like, okay, buddy, that's not what we were talking about. Like, I feel like...
Oh, no.
I feel like they set up this long lore dump, and then like, oh yeah, we need to give the player something to do next, something to expect. And they just threw that line in there, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, you know, when we were playing Xenogears, like every event led to the next event until it eventually spiraled into what it was. In this game, it's like a bunch of lore and then a one line about what you have to do next. It was a very awkward transition. Like, I was loving the scene up until that point. I was like, okay, buddy. Thank you.
In my case, Corchus says he's heard of this ghost ship.
Oh, really? I didn't get anything like that. I was like...
You know, he's man of the sea, Chris.
Of course, yeah. I don't have any men of the sea with me because I'm lonely as shit. But
Radius says no man can truly know what hides beneath the waves.
Yeah.
Which is some Lovecraft language. He who sleeps beneath the waves. It's fucking it's Cthulhu down there.
Yeah, I guess. And I had no idea that there was a ghost ship, or I would have no idea that there was a ghost ship upcoming if I didn't know the name of the next chapter. So it was kind of awkward for me.
So we go to sleep.
Back to nap.
We wake up in a side area with 3 twin beds.
Yes.
There is an ottoman and a coffee mug, but no shit bucket.
No toilets here. I forgot to check that.
No toilets. I've been looking.
Did you look outside for toilets?
It's outside. You don't need a toilet.
So yeah, if
outside does not count as a toilet.
Okay, the next question. Okay, congrats.
Otherwise, everywhere is a toilet. The game gets out of control.
Yeah, that's true. There'll be more crosses than we need.
That's why Hydra Marsh is so acidic.
It's true.
The Hydra was a septic system.
When we wake up, when you talk to Radius, he doesn't really offer us anything else.
All he says is take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, just simple words. Also, interesting thing here, the Radius from the homeworld that we know him to be kind of like a dirty old man.
Yeah.
And I don't get any elements of that here.
He's not horny at all.
So I guess the idea of living alone, like he's just got a really...
He masturbates much more.
Yeah, he's got a rigid masturbation routine here, and he doesn't have to, I guess. He's got
rigid.
He's got a porn stash, I guess.
Did you get that weird text when you walked out of the
Yeah.
tree?
You walk out there and there's like one spot of unvegetated ground, and it says the ground here is hot, vegetation won't be able to grow here.
Who the fuck says this?
It's just a system note, a system message. I guess. I don't know. Maybe that'll be important later. Let's check in with the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Author Impulse says on the anti-black that's the element you clip when you go to America. Shit. God damn it.
Oh no, it's true.
It's only funny because it's true. Cliff Racer says Chrono Cross's attempts at environmental messaging would be so much more effective if we saw any industry at all in El Nido instead of a bunch of fishermen.
Yeah, fishermen and tourism.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is Florida, I guess, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Of course. Alter Impulse says very few women in this game are above 110 pounds, which is true, except for Matcha. I think Matcha actually had a real weight. She was like 150.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah. Some corrections. I think the fake net I already took care of about Pip is being the one that is malleable
Yeah, I
in
fucked
terms of
that up.
elements. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. I don't even know what NeoFio looks like, to be honest with you. Was it a talking flower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alter Impulse says, as a bit of wet blanket commentary, I hate how actually so many JRPGs, including this one, miss the ability to call out colonialism and the settler narrative. Like, so many JRPGs and other RPGs use the trope of the beings that live in this area must be subjugated, which, yeah, we talked about that in the past, where it's not called out for, it's not forthright in the text of the game, but if you're looking at it closely, you can see the dynamic here of, like, General Viper versus, like, the Goldovians and maybe even the demi-human areas, too, that we haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
Actually, you can go to Marvule at this point in time. I went there, but they
Wouldn't let you in?
I mean, they let you in and you can do stuff, but I was like, we'll just cover that when we get there. Alter Impulse says Rasley is one of the only reasons I hate taking the Glen path is that you don't get Rasley because she's awesome and I love her, but unfortunately you can't get her until...
You say you get her eventually, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think you can get her until much later or... oh, no, according to Alter Impulse, just New Game Plus. So Rasley is a save kit only thing.
Locked out.
Yes, sorry. Fox says, I don't remember, but I feel like Surge showing up was sort of a sign of the greater splintering of realities, but that's like half remembered playing from when it first came out. I think that's true, but also I feel like maybe there's some stuff with Balthazar going on, because Balthazar is supposed to be long dead, and it's weird. Alter Impulse says, Hermit's Hideaway is better than Hermit's Hole. Thank you. Okay, thank you for the conversation tonight. RealNet, we appreciate you joining us as always. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on today, September 16th, 2020. Thank you, Mark Shepard, for the intro track.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. More importantly, tell your friends, and all the friends about the podcast. Email us at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more.
Hi-ho.
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 Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will defy fate.
And we shall head back to our deep slumber, and you may too. Good night. Dishwasher / let me say that again. I said washer.
Golly, you said.
What? Interesting thing to note here is in the Chrono trigger. Bradius and Warge.
It's you said Wobbuffet. That's the goober creatures that you feed the Shadow Forest monster.
Yeah.
Which did we call those Wobbuffets? Or, okay,
Yeah,
I was
we
just
did.
making sure that we were consistent there.
A young boy caught in a struggle between good and evil must fight for his existence between two worlds. The key to the future lies in the past. Destiny has but one soul. Rated T for teen.